I am going to share with you the best strategies, the best tips to not get late payments again when it comes to working with clients. Because some clients will test you, you've done their job and they've not paid you, or they pay you really late, or you have to pursue them from the left side of the edge to the right side of the edge, around the edge, helter-skelter, running like an endless chicken before you get your money. In this podcast episode, I'm going to tell you how to get paid on time as a social media manager. Hey guys, welcome back to the Social Media Manager Bible podcast. My name is Omobalaji Ajibare. I am the social media ogre, and I teach anyone who cares to listen how to use social media the right way. And if you're new here, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to turn on the notification bell, and leave a comment at the end of this video. And if you're listening to me on any of the podcast platforms, don't forget to follow, don't forget to rate this podcast, because it helps me just climb on the podcast ladder and let so much people hear about me. Because trust me, I drop knowledge every single week. You guys encourage me. It's the bare minimum. I'm joking. Not joking, actually, quite serious. Now, getting paid as a social media manager is essential for maintaining financial stability. You are a business owner. You're not a non-profit. You're not doing pro bono work. You are here to get paid. These apps that you use, like Canva, CapCut, that we pay for, it's not free. They don't give it to us for free. You pay for it. And clients should pay you, and then they should pay you on time. We need money for our freelance careers to thrive. We need money to sustain ourselves. We need money to pay bills. Some of you pay rent. I pay rent. Some of you pay for electricity. I pay for electricity. Some of you pay for internet. We need money for that. And sometimes when your electricity bill is due, your internet bill is due, they're not going to hear excuses. So why are clients giving us excuses after we've done the work, we've achieved the results that they need? Why are they giving us excuses to get us paid? At the end of this video, this stops. This stops right now with this video. So here's my tips on how to get paid on time as a social media manager. Number one, before you start working with any clients, whether they are black, whether they are white, whether they are indigo, whether they are violet, whether they are red, make sure you set clear payment terms from the start. It is very, very important, because if you are not clear from the start, problems will happen. And if problems happen, it is your fault. I said it. If problems happen because you did not set clear payments from the start, it is your fault. Don't be scared to discuss money at the beginning. Don't be ever scared. The first step to getting paid on time is setting clear expectations with your clients before any work begins. Be upfront, be transparent about what your payment terms are in your contracts and in your proposals. You know, you send proposals before you send contracts. Make sure it is stated here clearly. And there are some key details to cover in these contracts and proposal. Number one, your payment schedule. Specify when your payments are due. You might require payment upfront. I always require payment upfront. Either 80% or full payment upfront. Because I trust myself to deliver your work, but I don't trust you to pay me when I'm done. A lot of people collect 50% deposit before starting the project. I would tell you 70% or 80% is best. You can leave the remaining 20%, because if you collect 50%, 50% is a lot to let go of, with the remaining balance due upon completion. Or monthly payments on a specific day if you are working on a retainer. Either 100% payment upfront, a 50% deposit, or 70% deposit, or 80% deposit before starting the project and the balance upon completion of the project, or monthly payments on a specific day of the month if you are working on a retainer. Also, make sure that the due date is clearly stated. Payment is due within 7 days of this invoice date. Payment is due on the 1st of every month. Make sure you state it clearly when payment is due. Also, include a late fees cost. Let them see it clearly. When you send your contract, tell them that these are the things I want you to note of or take note of and read. They are very important in this contract. Include a clause about the late fees for delayed payment, because when you are late on some fees, it affects you. For somebody like me, it affects my credit score. And I don't want it to affect my credit score. It's very, very important. Most times, a lot of people use 2 to 5%. We are supposed to pay on so day, and then you some days late. You have to pay an extra 2% or an extra 5% because you are paying late. So your late payment fees clause is very, very important. Also, clearly state what payment methods are accepted. Bank transfer, PayPal, credit card, direct deposit. State it clearly in your proposal or your contract. Also, once your payment terms are agreed on, make sure that they are always included in the contract. Before you even create your contract, you need to agree on these payment terms on a call or via email or something like that. This gives you a legal standing if your payments are late. Discuss your payment terms early during your client onboarding process, not after you finish it. At the beginning, not during the discovery concept, during the client onboarding process, before you give them contract. That's when you should discuss your payment terms. I'm going to link a video in the description on the podcast episode that talks about things you need to know when you're onboarding your client. You want to avoid surprises by ensuring that people understand what your policies are before they sign these contracts. Number 2, to make sure that you get money on time, use invoicing software or tools. I've started using that and trust me, it works. It works. Even as a content creator, there was one that I thought they were going to pay me after the comma. They paid me the next day because I used an invoicing contract that gets me my money. The one that I recommend for you that I've currently started using now is Zoho Invoice. It's not a paid ad, but it works. It creates a very simple invoice for you. You can also use MainStack. Yes, I've used MainStack too. It works. Zoho Invoice and MainStack, they work. So you can use them. When you use a professional invoicing tool, they can help you streamline the payment process and ensure you get paid on time. These invoicing tools include features that can automatically send invoices, track the payments, and also send reminders for overdue payments. So you don't have to be doing it manually. I will recommend Zoho Invoice and MainStack, but there are so many others that actually exist. There's Honeybook, there's QuickBooks, there's FreshBooks, there's PayPal Invoicing, there is Wave, so on and so forth. But the ones I will recommend for you, Zoho Invoice and MainStack. Number 3, send your invoice promptly. Don't be like me. Sometimes I forget to send invoice and then I'll be complaining that, why is my money not complete? Don't be like me. Timing is everything when it comes to getting paid on time. You want to get paid on time, send your invoice on time. Don't delay sending your invoice once the work is completed or when you're about to complete it. Don't delay sending it. So one thing I do as a creator now is, from the very beginning, I tell clients that you pay me 50% upfront. And once I've created a video for you and before I press post, you pay me the second one. After you've approved the video, everything is ready to go. You pay me the complete and I will press post. If you don't pay me complete, I am not pressing post. Meaning I've collected money. The money you paid me is for creating the post. Then the balance, if you don't pay the balance, you're not going to see that post online because I don't have the time to be chasing people up and down for money. The sooner the client receives the invoice, the sooner they can process it. I'm telling you, because a lot of people, maybe they say, something happened with their bank. They have to go through their accountant. They have to do this. They have to do that. The sooner they get the invoice, the sooner they can start processing it, the sooner you get paid. For one-off projects, send invoice immediately before you start working. For retainers, send the invoice on the same day of every month. That's why I say you should automate your processes. Zoho Invoice will do it for you. MainStack too will do it for you. Send the invoice on the same day of the same month. Setting a consistent billing cycle every single month. Include a clear breakdown of the services that you're offering. It's always very good to include a clear breakdown of the services that you're offering in your invoice. If you're working with like large organizations or companies, they always have like specific payment schedules. Make sure that you're aware. Most of them will say net 30, net 60, net 90, meaning they will not pay you until after 30 days of after the post has been done or after the work has been done or after. The one I don't do is net 90. What do you mean you're not going to pay me after 90 days? That's 3 months. I'm not going to do that. So you can send the invoice at the right time. Most times when I work with big brands as a content creator, I send my invoice before I even start working. Before I start thinking about the script of whatever video I'm going to create, I've sent my invoice. Number 4, require deposits for new clients. If you have a new client or one-time project, it's always very good to ask for a deposit first before you start their work because they're just working with you for the first time or it's a one-off project. So make sure you require or you ask them for a deposit. You require a deposit from them. The deposit not only secures you time, but also demonstrates that the client is committed to paying you. Now, a lot of people do 50% deposit. A lot of people ask for 50% deposit upfront with the remaining 50% due on completion. That's fine. Me, I do 80% because I have the experience and I have the credibility to back it up. Full payment for short-term projects. If you're doing a short-term project, like for example, for me, I'm working with a client now and she wants to pay instrumentally. If she pays for the first 2 installments, I do the work that the first 2 installment covers. She pays for the next 2, I do the work until after it is complete before I start doing the work. I don't do the work when it's not complete. Nah, I don't have that time. Clients are more likely to pay on time if they've already invested in the project. If they've already invested in the project by paying a deposit, they are more likely to pay on time. But if they've not paid anything, you will pray and fast to collect your money. It's annoying, but it's actually the truth. You pray and fast to actually get your money. Number 5, if you have retainer clients, make sure you set up recurring payment. You want to be paid on time. So if you have long-term clients that are on retainers, 3-month retainers, 6-month retainers, you need to set up recurring payments, and this can ensure that your payments are made at the same time every single month, because they are retainers, they're on long term with you. So make sure that you use tools, you automate the process. You can use PayPal, you can use Stripe, Zoho, Mainstack, any invoicing software that you can set up like a recurring bill. This way, the payment is automatically deducted from them. They deduct it directly from the client's account. You don't have any business with them. They will just make sure that whatever money they have there, you deduct it from there. It's like a bank that is deducting money from their own bank. Once you set up the tool, they would have done it from the back end. You don't need to put the account number for them. The tool that you send to them from their back end, they will put all of their details, and that's where the money will be coming out every single month. So it's always very good. Please note, before you set up recurring payments with the clients, be sure to inform them about the recurring payment setup and get their agreement before you implement it. Number 6, send friendly reminders. Friendly payment reminders. Oh, your money is due. Send it to them. Before the due date, it's always very good to send like a friendly reminder a few days before the payment is due. You can say something like, hi, put the client's name. Hi, Balaji. Just a quick reminder that your invoice for put your specific services is due on, put the due date. Please let me know if you need any further details or if there's anything else I can assist with. Best or many thanks, I'm Balaji Ajabari. And you can also send it after the due date. You can tell them, hi, I'm Balaji. I hope you're well. I wanted to follow up regarding the invoice. Put the invoice number. Make sure that your invoice always has numbers. That's why I use a lot of like invoice platforms, because they have numbers. Which was due on, put the due date. I would appreciate it if you could process the payment as soon as possible. Please let me know if there are any issues with the invoice, and I'll be happy to assist. Many thanks, I'm Balaji. It's very, very professional. I'll put it in the description. This thing, or I'll put it in the description so you can copy and paste if you need to send it to your clients. Always maintain a professional and polite tone in your payment friendly reminders. It's very important because you want to maintain a good working relationship. Introduce late payment penalties. It's very, very important. If you don't have late payment penalties, you're gonna have problems. This shouldn't always be your first approach, but when you introduce late payment penalties, it can be an effective deterrent for clients who want to pay late. So if you have interest, you can charge a little, like 1 to 2%. Some people charge 2 to 5% on late payments. Most people don't want to pay more than they should pay. So if their payment is overdue and they've signed the contract, these are the things that you tell them to read in your contract. It's very important. Tell them to read it, because a lot of people just sign contracts without reading. I read it from beginning to the end. Also, you could charge a fixed fee for any late payments, which may encourage clients to pay on time, because nobody wants to pay extra costs. Always mention during your discovery call, when you're talking money, mention that you have late payment fees. It's always very good. Number 8, offer incentives for early payments. See, everybody loves incentives. Everybody loves incentives. So when you offer like incentives for early payments, a lot of clients will be motivated to pay. So if you tell them that if you pay early, you get 5% off the payment. That 5%, it might look small, but it's not small. I will take it. I will pay early to get 5%. Why do you think a lot of people buy early bird tickets? That's an incentive. Number 9, know when to stop work when you're not getting paid. Now, if a client is consistently late on their payments or they refuse to pay, you may need to take more drastic measures. Know when to stop work. You need to know when to stop work. One of the ways you can enforce timely payment is stop work. Stop posting. In the middle of the work, stop it. Let them struggle. I know somebody that she was working with a brand and they did not want to increase her salary and they were always paying late. She just stopped work. They've been struggling since. They've not posted on their page since she left. Also, build strong, lasting relationship. When you build a professional relationship with your clients, don't be too friendly with them. Make it professional. You can be professionally friendly with your clients. It can go a long way in ensuring that they pay you on time. It's very, very important. These are my 10 tips for getting paid on time, because getting paid on time as a social media manager requires clear communication, proper invoicing system. If you don't have it, see, when I did not have proper invoicing systems, It's I suffered though with getting payment. There's one lady till today, she has not paid me. Maybe she'll pay me in my sleep. She has not paid me. And also setting clear boundaries. They are your clients, they are not your friends. You can be friendly with them, but they are not your friends, they are your clients. I hope you implement these tips and you start getting paid on time as a social media manager. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to turn on the notification bell on YouTube. Leave me a comment if you have questions. And if you're listening to me on any of the podcast platform, I know you can ask questions on Spotify. I would answer it as soon as I can. Don't forget to follow, don't forget to rate the podcast. I am still Omobalaji, your social media president. Yes, I made myself the social media president, and I'm all about teaching you how to use social media the right way. And I see you in the next episode of the Social Media Manager Bible podcast.